This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so in the last session, we discussed about the architecture, SAP R3 architecture, we discussed in the last session. So in SAP R3 architecture, so presentation layer is separate, application layer is separate, and database layer is separated. In application layer, so presentation layer means that is a GUI, SAP logon pad. In application layer, we have dispatcher. This is a dispatcher queue. Under dispatcher, we have number of work process. The work process created by the system. So మనం create చేసేది కాదండి. So work process system create చేస్తుంది at the time of installation. So based on the available hardware. So మనం యూజ్ చేస్తున్న హార్డ్వేర్ ని బేస్ చేసుకుని వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి. Yeah, so based on the available hardware only, the work process so will generated by the system. Manually, we can't able to create any work process and we can't able to delete. So under dispatcher, we have work process. So ikkada mana ee slide lo okate work process undi, but under SAP, under dispatcher in SAP system, we have a number of work process. So we have a number of work process. So work process, so entire user request ni process chesedi work process. So user request the token system. So this is a dispatcher look like a token system. User request ni assign chestundi available work process ki. So total user request processed by the work process. Under work process we have memory management, and based on the user request memory is allocated. Task handler actually dispatcher nunchi first allocate ayedi ikkadiki. User request is handled by task handler. Then only memory is allocated. So with the interpreters, three types of interpreters: ABAP interpreter, database interpreter, and screen interpreter. So ABAP interpreter we discussed in the last session. So SAP developed in totally ABAP language, SAP modules, and if you take the system binary language, two different languages. Whenever we install SAP on the system, so SAP understandable language, ABAP language, system understandable language, binary language. But ABAP language, binary language, two different languages. But they want to continue, they want to communicate. So that is the reason here we have converter, translator, simply translator, ABAP translator. The same with database. Database understandable language, SQL. System understandable language, binary language. So that is the reason here we have SQL translator and finally screen translator. Whenever we enter the transaction code, the window is displayed. A particular window lo manaki number of labels untai, text boxes untai, icons untai. So the entire screen is developed in SAP. So that is SAP screen. SAP screen convert into system understandable language. So that is the reason here we have screen converter is there. So user context, whenever the user is logged in, all user details are stored in user context. Database client. So user request, work process user request ni process handle చేసిన తర్వాత sometimes work process goes to database. Sometimes work process goes to database to fetch the data. Data ni fetch చేయడం కోసం work process database వెళ్ళాలి. So with the help of database client only, work process goes to database. And a buffer. Every time whenever the work process goes to database, that is a time taken process. So our time is save చేయడం కోసం here we have buffer. Frequently accessed data is existing in buffer. So frequently accessed data is existing in buffer. So every time work process no need to go to database. So this is what we discussed in the last session. The mainly the work process. The entire user request is processed by, handled by work process. So work process are heart of SAP system in one single word. Work process are heart of SAP system. If work process are running, then only we can able to log into SAP system. Otherwise, we can't able to log in. So now we are going to discuss about the work process. See here. So for actually for previous batch purpose, we install this system. So we are also install. I think coming. So today is okay. Coming Monday or Tuesday, we'll start the installation. See here, present the work process are not started. So work process are not started, but I try to log into SAP system. So I will show you where the work process are existing. So if you take quality system, so here we have an option work process table. So here we have option work process table. So work process table, application server, work process table. So whenever we click on this one, yeah. So what it is saying, there are no items to shown in this view. No items means there are no work process. At present, there are no work process. So because of at present the system is not started. So that is the reason work process also not available. So development system just now we starting. So that is still starting only, not started completely. So please wait 1 minute. So once the developing system is completely started, we'll see. And see here, if I try to log into quality system is not started. The quality system is not started, work process also not available here. So if I click on work process table, it is showing there are no items in this view. Go to SAP Logon pad. go to SAP Logon. So I will show you, we have a separate session, how to install SAP system. We'll discuss more about that one. This is SAP Logon. So from this application only, we can log into SAP development system, quality or production, in all the systems. So present quality system is not started. So quality system is not started. Development system is still starting. So if I try to log into quality system, what it is saying? Not reached. Connection refused, not reached. Connection refused and not reached. So because system is not started, that is the reason we are getting this error message. So connection refused. So because of work process are not started, if you take development system is completely started. So click on work process table here. The work process are available here. So work process are available. So because development system is started, so development system is started. That is the reason work process are available. If you take quality system is not started. Quality system is still, that is in gray color. So that is the reason there are no items in this view. In quality system, work process are not available. So if you take in development system, click on work process table, the work process are showing like this. So 0 to 18, you observe here the number 0 to 18. Total 19 number of work process. So these 19 number of work process I am not created manually. System generated work process. These all are. So ఇవన్నీ సిస్టమ్ జనరేటెడ్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ అని మనం క్రియేట్ చేసింది కావు, మాన్యువల్గా మనం చేయలేదు. సో సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ స్టార్టెడ్, డెవలప్మెంట్ సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ స్టార్టెడ్. దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ ఆర్, it is showing the work process showing, all the work process are showing. But if you take quality system is not started, so work process are not available here. So system start చేసినప్పుడే వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయండి. సో సిస్టమ్ షట్ డౌన్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ ఇక్కడ మనకి ఎంటీగా ఉంటుంది, దేర్ ఆర్ నో ఐటమ్స్ అని వస్తుంది. సో సిస్టమ్ స్టార్ట్ అయితేనే వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ సో ఇలా మనకి డిస్ప్లే అవుతాయి. So present development system is completely started. If I try to log into development system, so we are getting SAP logon pad. See here. If I try to log into quality system, we are getting error message. See here, we are getting error message. So because the development system is started, so అందుకే మనకి లాగిన్ ప్యాడ్ వస్తుంది. సో యూజర్ ఐడి పాస్వర్డ్ ఎంటర్ చేసామంటే లాగిన్ అవుతాం డెవలప్మెంట్ సిస్టమ్. సో ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఏ క్వాలిటీ సిస్టమ్ నాట్ స్టార్టెడ్, దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వీఆర్ గెటింగ్ ఎర్రర్ మెసేజ్. కనెక్షన్ రిఫ్యూజ్డ్, connection refused, not reached, connection refused, like this. So that is the importance of the work process. Simply, work process are heart of SAP system. If work process are running, then only so we can able to log into SAP system. That is in development system or quality or production, whatever it may be. If work process are not running, so we can't able to log into SAP. And work process we can't able to decide. So present in development system, it is showing 19 number of work process, 0 to 18. But these 19 number of work process, so manually we are not created, system generated work process. See here, what is work process? So work process are heart of SAP system. If work process are started in SAP MMC, Microsoft Management Console, MMC stands for. If work process are started in SAP MMC, we can able to log into SAP application. If work process are not started, so we can't able to log into SAP. Manually, we can't able to create work process. Manually, we can't able to create. So work process are created by SAP system while installing of SAP server. So work process are created by SAP system. So we can't able to create manually. So based on the available hardware, SAP the system will create the work process. Every work process required minimum 150 MB for process user request. Work process main intention user request ni process చేయాలి. A process చేయడానికి minimum 150 MB it is required. So here we have four types of work process. So we have four types of work process. So here we have four types of work process. These are the work process. Dialog work process. Dialog work process simply they are called as DIA. Background work process BGD or BTC. Update work process UPD. Spool work process SPO. So we have four types of work process. Dialog work process, background work process, update work process, spool work process. Dialog work process we are called as DIA. Background work process BGD or BTC, update work process UPD, and spool work process SPO. So actually we have one more work process. So previously, not present, we have one more work process that is NQ work process. NQ work process. That is ENQ. NQ work process. Dialog work process, background work process, update work process, spool work process, and NQ work process. We have actually previously we have 5 types of work process. So present 4 types of work process only. Yeah. So previously we have 5 types of work process. Dialog, background, update, NQ, and spool. So but present so we have 4 types of work process. So why? Because NQ work process still NQ is there, but that is not a work process. That is a service NQ server. So NQ work process got a promotion as a service from work process to service. It is got a promotion. So nowadays we are called as NQ, not NQ work process, NQ server. NQ server. So previously we have NQ directly NQ work process. మనకు previous గా direct గా NQ work process అని ఉండేదండి. But present NQ work process is not there. So NQ work process is not there. In place of NQ work process, we have NQ server. So that is the reason. So present we have 4 types of work process only. These are the 4 types of work process. dialog background update, spool. And what about NQ server? I will show you. You observe here DAA, dialog or process. So I think we are in night shift. That is the reason we have very less number of dialog or process. So I'm going to start background. I'm going to start quality system also. So please wait. It is starting. It is taking very few minutes to start the quality system. So once the quality system is started, I will show you. Yeah. So quality system also started. So in quality system, so click on the work process table. See here, these are the dialog or process. These are the background or process. And this is update work process. This is also update work process 1. This is update work process 2. And finally, spool work process. DAA, BGD or BDC. BGD or BDC. This is update 1. This is update 2. So UPD, update work process. And finally, spool work process, SPO. So total how many work processes are there? 19 number of work processes, 0 to 18. See here, 0 to 18. So total 19 number of work processes, 19 number of work processes are there. Apart from 19 number of work processes, we have 10 dialog work processes, 6 background work processes, 2 update work processes, 1 spool work process. 10 plus 6, 16 plus 2, 18 plus 1, 19. Total 19. For suppose if we have 25 work processes are there, or for suppose 40 work processes are there. In 40 number of work processes also we have 4 types of work process. So మనకు వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ n number of ఉండొచ్చండి, బట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ ఓన్లీ 4. ఆ 40 వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ లో టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ 4 ఉంటాయి. డైలాగ్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్, బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్, అప్డేట్, స్కూల్. మేబీ డైలాగ్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ లైక్ ఒక 15, బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ ఒక 10 అలా. సో ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతాయి వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్, బట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ 4, ఓన్లీ 4. So these are the 4 types of work process. And what about the NQ work process? So just now we discussed NQ work process got a promotion as a service. Service గా ప్రమోషన్ వచ్చింది. సో అది ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది? See here. So present we clicked on number 45. So what is this? We'll discuss. This is actually we are called as instance number 45. So what is instance? We'll discuss. 46 also there, but మనం ఇప్పుడు ఎక్స్పాండ్ చేసింది 45. 45 లో మనకు వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ ఉంటాయి. See here. And NQ work process got a promotion as a service, right? The NQ server is existing in instance number 46. Expand this one, click on process list. So here we have NQ server. So previously this is a work process only, it got a promotion as a service. Right? So we have at present 4 types of work process and 2 types of services, message server and NQ server. 2 types of services and 4 types of work process. First, what is dialog work process? DAA. What is dialog work process? What is background work process, update work process, spool work process? So first we'll discuss what is dialog work process. DAA. This is the dialog work process. DAA, dialog work process. If you log into SAP system through logon pad, by default we can log into dialog work process only. The first point. So what it is saying, మనం SAP లో లాగిన్ అవ్వాలంటే through SAP GUI only we can log in. By default, whenever we logged into SAP through GUI, by default we logged into dialog work process only. See here. So now I'm going to shut down quality system. So because already development system is already started. Quality system is completely shut down. Now we are going to use the development system only. See here, I'm going to minimize this SAP MMC. SAP log on. I try to log into a development system. Double click on this one. Just it is asking user ID password only. By default, we are getting the client number. What is client? We'll discuss. It is asking the user ID password. It is asking the user ID password. So whenever we enter user ID password, by default we logged into Dialog or process only. That is the first point. Whenever we logged into system, development system or quality or production through logon pad, by default we logged into Dialog or process only. By default we logged into Dialog or process only. That is the first point. So if we log into SAP system through logon pad, by default we log into Dialog or process only. Actually, manaki background work process update school work process code ఉన్నాయి. But by default we logged into Dialog or process only. So దానికి ఒక general example, what we are saying, for suppose so interview schedule in TCS. So TCS లో మనకి interview schedule అయింది. So total 4 floors are there. Total 5 floors are there. So ground floor reception. The first floor ABAP entries are going on. Second floor only 4 floors. So in ground floor reception. First floor ABAP entries are going on. Second floor FICO entries are going on. And third floor basis entries are going on. So we are going to attend the interview. So directly we can't able to go to the third floor, right? So in TCS office, so directly we can't able to go to third floor. So because first we need to go to reception only. So reception front office executive, they collect the resume. So then only based on the availability, then only they send the resume to third floor. So based on the slot, so manaki schedule chesina slot basis point, so interviews are going on. So directly we can't able to go to basis third floor, the basis interviews, in which floor basis interviews are going on third floor. So we can't able to go to third floor. So first every person first need to approach it to reception only. So front office executives, they will decide so the time and like the floor, in which floor the interviews are going on. So they will decide, right? Every person first need to go to the reception only. If the person need to attend for FICO or need to attend for ABAP, need to attend for basis. So every person first they reach to reception only, right? The same way, same example, whenever we apply to SAP system. So this is Dialog work process, DAA, background work process, BTC, update work process, UPD, and spool work process, SPO, spool work process, SPO. So all the users should be first by default should be logged into Dialog work process only. If the user is ABAP consultant or SD consultant or basis consultant or FICO consultant, whatever it may be, all the users by default, irrespective of the module, all the users by default they logged into Dialog work process only. So dialog work process decided based on the user request, it redirected to other work process. వచ్చిన రిక్వెస్ట్ ని బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ గా అప్డేట్ గా స్కూల్ అనేది అదే డిసైడ్ చేస్తుంది. సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద requirement, the request is assigned to spool. Based on the requirement, the request is assigned to update work process or background work process. But every user should be logged into dialog work process only. So this is the first point. Every user can able to log into dialog work process. For remaining users, for remaining work process, dialog work process act as an engine. For remaining work process like background update spool, so dialog work process act as an engine. Dialog work process parameter. Dialog work process parameter is odd is work process number of DI equal to 10. So what is the meaning of this parameter? So ఈ parameter ఏం చెప్తుంది? So this is the meaning of the parameter. See here. R disk. R అంటే ఇక్కడ running. Disk means a dispatcher. So running dispatcher లో 10 work process ఉన్నాయని చెప్తుంది. So R disk work process number of DA equal to 10. So here R stands for running, disk stands for dispatcher. Running dispatcher having 10 number of DAA, dialog, WP, work process. So running dispatcher having 10 number of dialog work process. That is the meaning of this parameter. This is the meaning of this parameter. So R is work process number of DA equal to 10. So what it is saying? So present in our system 10 dialog work process. Present we have 10 dialog work process. But ఇక్కడ ఈ number 10 అనేది ఫిక్స్ కాదండి. That is not fixed number. That's based on the server. The number is different. అంటే ఆల్రెడీ మనం డిస్కస్ చేసాం ఒక పాయింట్. So work process are decided with the system. Manually we can't able to create. So ఇక్కడ 10 number అని మనం ఫిక్స్ చేయలేం. For suppose I am using 8 GB RAM. So I have 10 dialog work process. For suppose at the time of installation you are using 16 GB RAM. So you are getting 15 or 17 dialog work process. So the number is not fixed. Based on the hardware, అది a number different గా ఉంటుంది. So running the present our SAP system having 10 dialog work process. That is the meaning of this parameter. Running dispatcher having 10 number of dialog work process. So next, background work process. One more thing. ఇక్కడ ఇంకా మన కంప్లీట్ అవ్వలేదు అది dialog work process. Fourth point. Fifth point. Dialog work process restriction time parameter is odd is for maximum work process time equal to runtime equal to 600 seconds. So dialog work process restriction time parameter is odd is maximum work process runtime equal to 600 seconds. Means అంటే ఇది ఎలా అంటే జనరల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫర్ సపోజ్ వెన్ ఎవర్ వి లాగ్డ్ ఇన్ టు నెట్ బ్యాంకింగ్ HDFC బ్యాంక్ ICICI వాట్ ఎవర్ ఇట్ మే బి. సో వెన్ ఎవర్ వి లాగ్డ్ ఇన్ టు నెట్ బ్యాంకింగ్, సో మనం లాగిన్ అయిన తర్వాత సో వీ నీడ్ టు డూ సంథింగ్ అంటే ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ అని కాదు, అట్లీస్ట్ మనం మౌస్ అన్న మూవ్ చేయాలి. అదర్వైజ్ వెన్ ఎవర్ వి లాగ్డ్ ఇన్ టు నెట్ బ్యాంకింగ్, సో వీఆర్ నాట్ డూయింగ్ ఎనీథింగ్. ఈవెన్ మౌస్ కూడా మనం మూవ్ చేయలేదు అనుకోండి, సిస్టమ్ ఈజ్ వెయిటింగ్ 5 minutes I think. If there is no response from our side, automatically session out. We are getting session out. Automatically session out. So because up to 5 minutes from our side, no response. That is the reason. Due to the security reason, within 5 minutes we are not responding automatically. The session is logged out. The same way here also, the login user, he should do something in 600 seconds, 10 minutes లో. So he need to do something. ఈ 10 minutes So user side నుంచి ఏ రెస్పాన్స్ లేదనుకోండి, automatically we are getting a error message, that is a timeout error message. Timeout error message. If we are not responded in 600 seconds, we are getting timeout error message. Every SAP system should have minimum 2 dialog work process, maximum 99 dialog work process based on the hardware. So minimum 2 అయితే create అవుతాయి, maximum 99, 2 to 99. So based on the available hardware. So 99, for suppose if you are using 1 TB RAM, not more than 99. Even man 1 TB RAM ఇచ్చేసినా కూడా 99 కంటే ఎక్కువ క్రియేట్ అవ్వవు dialog work process. So this is a dialog work process. So this is just like a engine. For suppose మనకి ఒక ట్రైన్ తీసుకోండి, సో ఇంజిన్ ఎంత ఇంపార్టెంటో, ద సేమ్ వే dialog work process is important for all the remaining work process to start the process. ఆ ప్రాసెస్ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలంటే ఫస్ట్ dialog work process తీసుకుంటుంది user request. So this is the dialog work process. So coming to background work process. Yeah. So background work process. Background work process we are called as BTC or BZD. BTC or BZD. So background work process are started by dialog work process. Why? Because just now we discussed, for background work process, update work process, spool work process, dialog work process act as an engine. అదొక రిసెప్షనిస్ట్ లా వర్క్ చేస్తుందని చెప్పుకున్నాం. సో background work process are started by dialog work process only. So because directly as a user directly we can't able to log into background work process. So first we logged into dialog work process only. So that is the reason background work process are started by dialog work process. Background work process are using for to handle the long running and time taking jobs. So మనం SAP system లో ABAPers ఉంటారు. So they create the program and background jobs మనం డిఫైన్ చేస్తాం, క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం యాజ్ ఎ బేసిస్ కన్సల్టెంట్, ద బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ జాబ్స్. అండ్ క్లయింట్ కాపీస్, వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ క్లయింట్ కాపీస్. సో ఈ యాక్టివిటీస్ అన్ని టైం టేకన్ యాక్టివిటీసే. సో ఫర్ సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ టేక్ క్లయింట్ కాపీ, సో క్లయింట్ కాపీ ఒక క్లయింట్ నుంచి ఇంకో క్లయింట్ కాపీ ఇచ్చారంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ టేకింగ్ టైం. సో మినిమం 2 to 3 hours it is taking. So that is after SAP installation, that is the first concept, client administration. In client administration, one of the concept is client copy. So client copy is not completed in 1 minute or 5 minutes. It is taking hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, 3 hours also it is taking. So this type of activities are handled by background work process. So long running time taking jobs are background work process handle చేస్తుంది. And background work process parameter is R-disp. R-disp work process number of BTC equal to 6. What is the meaning of this parameter? R-disp work process number of BTC equal to 6 means R stands for running, disp stands for dispatcher, running dispatcher having 6 number of background work process. అంటే ప్రజెంట్ మనం యూజ్ చేస్తున్న సిస్టంలో 6 బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ వర్క్ ప్రాసెస్ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇక్కడ నోట్ లో మనం చెప్పాం పాయింట్, ద నంబర్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఫిక్స్డ్, దట్ ఈస్ డిఫరెంట్ ఫ్రమ్ సిస్టమ్ టు సిస్టమ్. బికాస్ ఐఎమ్ యూజింగ్ 8 GB RAM, యూఆర్ యూజింగ్ 4 GB RAM, some other person using 16 GB RAM and 32 GB RAM. So the number is not fixed, that is different from system to system. So the number is not fixed, that is different from system to system. not only dialog background work process. If you take dialog work process also. Okay, so this is our today's session. So we discussed what is work process, the types of work process. So we have 4 types of work process: dialog, background, update, spool. So మనకి NQ work process కూడా ఉంది, but that is got a promotion as a service. So that is also discussed. One NQ work process service అయినా కూడా మనం డిస్కస్ చేయాలి. So what is dialog work process? What is background work process? We discussed in our today's session. So this is our. So ఒక 1 week తర్వాత మనకి ఈవినింగ్ కూడా పెట్టుకుందామండి. మార్నింగ్ అండ్ ఈవినింగ్ ఆల్సో వీ హ్యావ్ సెషన్స్. సో ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు మనకి కాల్స్ బాగున్నాయి. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్. I think from next week onwards, so we have evening session also. So my last session lo discuss చేశాను. I'm going to create WhatsApp group on tomorrow, maybe most probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So WhatsApp group create చేసిన తర్వాత ఈ సెషన్స్ అన్ని సో మీ అందరికీ షేర్ చేస్తాను. ఇండివిజువల్ గా ఎవరికి షేర్ చేయమండి, వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ లో షేర్ చేస్తాను. సో మీకు డైలీ వస్తుంది అప్పుడు. సో గూగుల్ డ్రైవ్ లో అప్లోడ్ చేసి ఆ గూగుల్ డ్రైవ్ లింక్ మన వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ లో పింగ్ చేస్తాను. సో డైలీ సెషన్ ఆటోమేటిక్ గా మీకు డ్రైవ్ లో వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈస్ అవర్ టుడే సెషన్. ఎనీ క్వరీస్? think Monday or Tuesday onwards we have installation. So installation start చేద్దాం Monday or Tuesday. Okay, so this is our today's session. So thank you. We'll meet on next session.